Korean 2, Lesson 11 lecture. 지금 몇 시예요? What time is it now? Telling time in Korean is a little bit tricky. It's complicated because the hour is given in native Korean number with the counter shi, which means o'clock, not hour or hours, and the minute in Sino-Korean plus 분. Pun, if you remember, is also a counter for people honorific. They are written and pronounced the same, but it could mean either number of minutes or number of people honorific. 30 minutes can be expressed as 30분, which means 30 minutes, or 반, which means half. It means half of an hour. Don't say 반분 because that means half a minute, which is 30 seconds, but no, just if the hour is, if the time is 1:30, you say 1시 반 or 1시 30분, and either would be fine as either hour and 30 minutes or, literally hour and half. The question for asking the time is 지금 몇 시예요? 지금 몇 시예요? 예요 is the conjugation of ida to be. So 지금 is right now. 몇 will be the question word for anything for which you want a number or quantity. And 시 is the hour, counter for the hour. So 지금 몇 시예요? The answer is 8시 15분이에요. 8시 15분이에요. It's 8 o'clock, 15 minutes. So 8 is in native Korean number, 8, 8시. And then the minute is in 15 minutes, 15. So you can't, when you're telling the time, you cannot say 8시 or 신분. Has to be the reverse. You have to express the hour in native Korean number and the minute in Sino-Korean number. And yes, sometimes in Korea, we do use military time, which is based on 24-hour system. So 18th hour will be 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. You just add the number after 12 o'clock thereafter. Again, to emphasize, when the time is on the 30th minute mark, you say 30분 or 반. We indicate AM, PM as 오전, 오후, and because Korean is a macro to micro language, we indicate that before telling the number for the hour and the minute. So to be specific about whether it's in the morning or the afternoon, AM or PM, if you're asked the question, 지금 몇 시예요? You answer, 오전 12시 30분 or 12시 반이에요. 오전 12시 30분이에요 or 12시 반이에요. It's 12 o'clock half, okay? Or 12 o'clock, 30 minutes. So the hours are, again, it's not hours as in telling quantity of time, but saying 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. It's 1시, 2시, 3시, 4시, just like any other counter that comes after native Korean number. 1 through 4 becomes contracted into 한, 두, 세, 네 instead of 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷. So 1시, 2시, 3시, 4시, 5시, 6시, 7시, 8시, 9시, 10시, and goes back to being contracted through from 1 to 4. In this case, it goes only up to 12 o'clock. So 11시, 12시. And the minutes are simple in Sino-Korean numbers. Simply 1분, 2분, 3분, 4분, 5분, 6분, 7분, 8분, 9분, 10분, 11분, 12분, so forth. And again, for 30 minutes, it can be either 30분 or 반. Again, please don't say 반분, that because that means half a minute. So to the question, these are analog clocks. 지금 몇 시예요? 지금 몇 시예요? What time is it right now? Right now, what time is it? 3시예요. 3시예요. Because it's right on 3 o'clock, and the counter is she, which ends at vowel, so you say 3시예요. Same thing again if the counter ends in she, the hour, o'clock. She ends in vowel, so 8시예요. It's 8 o'clock. 8시예요. Here, you have minutes. So it now has 분 for the number, the minute counter. So now you have to say 이에요. Remember, very first lesson we learned with grammar, you have a noun and you say it is. If the word last syllable ends in a consonant, 이에요. Otherwise, 예요. 9시 40분이에요. 9시 40분이에요. It is 9:40. And this is 10 o'clock is, what is it, you guys? Not 10시 has been native Korean number. So it's 10시예요. 10시예요. That's very common. It's more common that you would say the hour in native Korean and would want to express the minutes also in native Korean number, but you have to shift to sign of Korean number and then put 분. 지금 몇 시예요? 지금 몇 시예요? It's 5 o'clock, almost 6 o'clock. We would say a little past 15 minutes. So 5시 51분이에요. 5시 51분이에요. Yes, you do sense a bit of tensification right here. 5시 51분이에요. And past 2 o'clock, 2시 27분 or 8분이에요. I'll take either. 2시 28분이에요. It's 2 o'clock, 28 minutes. 지금 몇 시예요? 지금 몇 시예요? 12시 45분이에요. 12시 45분이에요. And this can be expressed in two ways. 2시 반이에요 or 30분이에요. 2시 반이에요 or 30분이에요. So just like in English, we say either 12:45 or we say 1:45, 15 minutes till 1. We have that expression. It's not required for the test, but we would say 1시 15분 전이에요. 1시 15분 전이에요. It's 1 o'clock, 15 minutes till. 15 minutes before. 1시 15분 전이에요. 언제 is the question word for when. And A is used for time expression, like the exact hour, minute, whether it's in the morning, afternoon, date, the day of the week, except for the word today, 오늘, or any word that is in relation to today, which would be 내일, or 어제, 그제, or day after tomorrow, which would be 모레, right? Because it's like in English when we don't apply preposition to word today or any word in relation to today. We say, I'll see you tomorrow. We don't say, I see you on or at or in tomorrow, right? Same thing. I see you today. We don't say, I see you on or at or in today, okay? When you are asking when somebody does something, 언제 아침 먹어요? 언제 아침 먹어요? When do you eat breakfast? 7시에 먹어요. 7시에 먹어요. I eat breakfast at 7 o'clock. 7시에 tells you that's the time marker as well as on the situation, if you remember, location marker. So it's like location and time. 7시에 먹어요. Okay. 언제 시험 있어요? 언제 시험 있어요? 내일 있어요. It's just general. It's tomorrow. It's not specific time or morning, afternoon, evening, or date or day of the week. 내일 is a word that is in relation to today. That is one day after. So you don't use 에. You just say 내일 있어요. It would be grammatically wrong if you say 내일에 있어요. Just 내일 있어요. 언제 한국어 수업 있어요? When do you have Korean class? 언제 한국어 수업해요? Like when does a class take place? Or when do you guys, literally it means when do you do the class, but when is it in session? 오전 9시 45분에 있어요. 오전 9시 45분에 있어요. It's in the morning, so you say AM, PM actually first. A lot of things in Korean, it's the reverse order. But when you think about it, it's logical because it's from macro to micro. So when telling dates, remember, is we say the year, month, and the day. The time, we indicate the broader category first, whether it's in the morning or the afternoon, AM or PM. 오전 is AM, 오후 is PM, and then the hour, and then the minute. And of course, if you're counting seconds, that will come after 분, which is, if you're curious, it's 초. 9시 45분이에요. 9시 45분이에요. It is 9:45. Okay. So you can say 있어요 or 해요. It takes place at 9:45, or we have the class, we do the class at 9:45, or you just say 9시 45분에요 at that time, and you just that's the most essential thing. You have the hour, the time, to indicate that that's at that time it's taking place, and yo to be polite. Remember, putting yo or io is the simplest way to answer a question. You give the noun and then yo. Here you need to put to indicate it's at that time. 언제 점심 먹어요? 언제 점심 먹어요? When do we eat lunch? Obviously in the afternoon. 오후 12시 30분에 먹어요. 오후 12시 30분에 먹어요. PM 12:30. Or 12시 반에 먹어요. Or simply just the hour and then 에요. 12시 30분 or 12시 반에요. Okay? 언제 자요? When do you sleep? 오후 10 o'clock in native Korean. 10시 27분에 자요. 10시 27분에 자요. Okay? At 10:27. 10시 27분에요. That's an alternative, just simple answer with the hour time element, and then ayo to indicate the time. Something is being done at that particular time, and then yo to be polite. The second grammar is how to conjugate a verb or adjective into 어서요. It's the simplest way to answer why questions. Okay, and you say it's because somebody's doing something, or it's this way or that way. It is a connective of the conjunction 그래서. Okay, remember 그래서, so therefore, so it's, you know, it's, you're doing something, that's why, or it is this way, that's why. Okay, and it's to provide reason or cause for the result without repeating the result in the question. It's just like, it's this, that's why. Okay, and use with both verbs and adjectives, and you are putting it into 아어요, but you're temporarily taking out the yo, and then you are inserting 서, and then putting the yo back again. Okay, you know, you usually why questions are the most complex to answer, but this is the simplest way to answer. 왜 떡볶이 안 먹어요? 왜 떡볶이 안 먹어요? Why aren't you eating 떡볶이? 너무 매워서 안 먹어요. That would be the full answer. 너무 매워서 안 먹어요. Because it's too spicy, that's why I don't eat it. They already know you don't eat it, so that's redundant. So you can just say 너무 매워서요. It's too spicy. Because it's too spicy. Okay? You can strike out the what's already stated in the question. 안 먹어요. You know, it's established you don't eat. So you're just providing the most essential reason why you're not eating 떡볶이. 너무 매워서요. Because it's too spicy. 왜 문자했어요? 왜 문자했어요? Why did you text? Why did you text? 질문 있어서요. 질문 있어서요. Because you had a question. That's why. Okay. So when you're conjugating, it's like 어요, 있어요, right? You're just inserting 서 between the 어 and 요. You're going to put the 요 back, but you're going to insert 서 and then bring 요 right back from 어요. 왜 한국어를 배워요? 왜 한국어를 배워요? Why are you learning Korean? Why do you learn Korean? 한국 문화에 관심이 있어서요. 한국 문화에 관심이 있어서요. 관심 is interest. Because I have interest in Korean culture. Korean culture, 한국 문화에, that's is a preposition. It's on that noun that you have interest. 관심 있다 is it can have different contexts. Let's look at this question on the left. Amy 씨, 전화번호가 어떻게 되세요? Very politely asking for somebody's phone number. Amy, what does your phone number happen to be? 제 번호요? 왜요? Okay, my phone number, why? Amy 씨한테 관심 있어서요. Let's go back to the other slide. 한국 문화에 관심이 있어서요. When you have interest in things, you say 에. 한국 문화에 관심이 있어요. 한국 음식에 관심이 있어요. I have interest in Korean food. 영화에 관심이 있어요. I have interest in movies. But when it's a person, yes. And when you say you're interested in that person with 관심, it means you have a romantic interest in that person. Okay, like they might. It's like a gentle way of saying, you know, because I want to ask you out. Amy 씨한테 관심이 있어서요. Okay, and it's a person. That's why it's 한테 instead of 에. Remember, 에에서 is from or to thing, a place. 한테서 is for people, from to people. 왜 등산 안 가요? 왜 등산 안 가요? Why don't you go hiking? 운동 안 좋아해서요. 운동 안 좋아해서요. Because I don't like exercise. Let's practice conjugating verbs and adjectives into all, yo. But then you can make, just by taking out the yo, you can make it into a connective in the middle of a sentence and continue elaborate more on like because of this, and then provide the result. Okay, the effect. 아프다. In 아어요, it would be 아파요. So we just erase the yo for now and add the salt so that it's 아파서. Because I am in pain, it's because it's hurting, I'm sick. 아파서 약 먹었어요. Or 약 먹어요. 아파서. Because I am ill, I'm sick, I'm in pain, I take medicine. Okay. So in Korean, when we it's always cause and effect. That's the order. It's sequential. You explain things by saying this happened, therefore. In English, it's the opposite again. We say it's like this because we talk about the result and then we elaborate on what happened, what was the cause. Okay. In Korean, cause and effect, it's sequential. Something happened, therefore a chain of event happened thereafter. 다니다. What is oil conjugation of 다니다? 다. This one is a little tricky, you guys. 다녀요. So it becomes 다녀서. 다녀서. 미안하다. 미안해서. 미안해요 but it becomes 미안해서. 있다. 있어요. 있어서. 편하다. 편해요. 편해서. 많다 becomes what in 아어요? 많아요. 많아서. 가르치다 in 아어요 becomes 가르쳐요, just like 다니다, 가르쳐요. So it becomes 가르쳐서 because somebody taught. 끝나다, 끝나다, 끝나요, 끝나서 because something ended, wrapped up. 모르다, 모르다, 몰라요, 몰라서 because you didn't know something. This is irregular if you remember. The 르 irregular, samples of which is 모르다 and also 고르다 to pick something, 빠르다 to be fast, 빨라요, so forth. Same pattern. 몰라서, 빨라서, 골라서. 배가 부르다. There's another one. 배가 불러서 because I'm full. Here's what I had mentioned. We use also for the impetus, the reason or the cause for effect or the result. What ended up happening. 감기에 걸려서 because you caught cold. 아파요. That's why you're sick. 배가 불러서 더 안 먹어요. You are full, therefore you don't eat anymore. 비가 와서 because it rained, 우산을 사요. Okay? So it is, you don't have to worry about putting this into past form. Also tells you, it's what happened first, and then, the ending can be either present or past. But also clause, it doesn't take tense. Also is used in a lot of fixed expressions for apology and appreciation. 만나서 반갑습니다. Of course, you're familiar with this phrase. Literally means, because I met you, I'm glad. But it's fixed expression. It's not so much cause and effect, like glad to meet you. 문자 안 해서 미안해요. I'm sorry for not texting. You know, when you are making apology, you use also to explain why you're sorry. Okay, 문자 안에서 미안해요. Or to express thanks for the present. 생일 선물 줘서 고마워요. Thanks for giving me birthday present. 숙제, 왜 숙제 안 해요? Why aren't you doing your homework? 걔가 숙제 먹어서요. Now you can give this excuse in Korean why you didn't do your homework. Because the dog ate it. The dog ate your homework. 걔가 숙제 먹어서요. Because the dog ate it. 왜 백화점에 갔어요? Why did you go to the department store? 세일해서요. Because they're having a sale. 왜 제 생일 파티에 안 와요? Okay. Why aren't you coming to my birthday party? 내일 시험이 있어서요. Because there's a test tomorrow. So remember, also is the simplest way to give an answer. If you want to give a full answer, it would be 내일 시험이 있어서 안 와요. Because there's a test tomorrow. That's why I don't come. 왜 책을 샀어요? 왜 책을 샀어요? Why did you buy the book? 재미있어서요. Because it's interesting, fun. So for nouns, because it is something, not because somebody's doing something or something a certain way, but because it is something, you use also with adjectives and verbs. But for nouns, it would be either 이라서 if it ends in a consonant or 라서. 휴일이라서 학교에 안 가요. 휴일이라서 학교에 안 가요. Because it's a holiday, I don't go to school. So let's compare and contrast 이라서, it is something, versus also. You use it with noun. 셰프라서 음식을 잘해요. Because she is a chef, she's good at cooking, preparing food. Or you could also say, the opposite. 음식을 잘해서, because she is good at cooking, preparing food. That's why she's a chef. Okay. I also use with verb and adjective, noun for 이라서. If the noun ends in consonant, 이라서, otherwise just 라서. 주말이라서 수업이 없어요. Because it's the weekend, there's no class. 주말이라서, 주말, weekend, noun, ends in a consonant, so 이라서. 수업이 없어서 테니스 쳐요. Because there's no class, you play tennis. 없어서, it's a verb, so 어서 테니스 쳐요. 샐러드만 먹어서 배가 고파요. Okay, 샐러드만 먹어서 배가 고파요. Here, it's not 이라서, but you ate only salad. That's why you were hungry. 먹 also. You did eat something, but it was only salad. That's why you're hungry. 배가 고파서 햄버거도 먹었어요. Because you're hungry. Therefore, you also ate a hamburger. If it's a certain date, a certain holiday celebrations, it would be 라서 or 이라서. Valentine Day 라서. It's 라서 because the day ends with E. Whatever day, right? Valentine Day 라서. 남자친구 초콜릿을 사요. So you have to understand in East Asian countries, the tradition for it, Valentine's Day is non-traditional, obviously. It's a Western import. And the way it's celebrated there on Valentine's Day, it's the women, it's the ladies' choice who make their interests be known to somebody they like by giving chocolate. And then 1 month later, what happens is you have White Day. This actually started in Japan. They only had Valentine's Day, And yes, it used to be that women were the ones who were treated, bestowed gift, and the Japanese lingerie industry thought, you know, it is the day where the ladies would return the favor, and they were marketing white lingerie for White Day, a month after Valentine's Day. But now it's they have other white products for consumers, mainly white chocolate. So white day라서 여자 초콜릿을 사요. 여자 친구, 여친 초콜릿을 사요. So it's White Day, yeah, and that's month later. That's when the guys who received the present from the women, they were interested in, make their intent be known if they're mutually interested, and they return the favor by giving them, they reciprocate with white chocolate. But a month later, April 14th this is a Korean invention. So Black Day, it's a day when you eat jjajangmyeon. It's a black bean sauce noodle. It's like Korean spaghetti, and just like Italian spaghetti it's an Italian American dish that's very Americana. Same thing, you guys. It's a Chinese Korean dish, but it's very Korean. And you eat jjajangmyeon with your friends, not only any friends, but those who are still single after Valentine's Day and White Day. And it's called Black Day not only because you eat the jjajangmyeon, which is black sauce, you also have to wear black. And the reason why you're black is not just to be practical, but it's to reflect that you're mourning that you're still single. But it's all good, you guys. It's all for fun. 친구들하고 짜장면 먹어요. Because it is Black Day, you eat 짜장면 with your friends. 겨울이라서, some seasonal activities, 겨울이라서, because it is winter, 겨울이라서 스키를 타요. 아침이라서, because it is in the morning, 차가 많아요. There are a lot of cars. 일요일이라서, because it's Sunday, 길에 차가 없어요. There are no cars in the streets. We have 에 and eso, which are the two main located particles. Eso has as two usages. You use it when you are saying somebody is doing something somewhere. Doing something is called dynamic verb. It's almost everything except 있다, 없다, to exist, or the opposite, not to exist. And these are very static adjectives like 많다, to be many. Thinking, sleeping, they don't seem very dynamic, but they are doing something. So when you are expressing somebody's doing something somewhere, even if it's not seemingly very active, you need to use eso. Eso when you use with locomotion verbs. Do you guys remember what locomotion verbs are? Locomotion verbs are verbs that take up distance. Primarily, we have 가다, to go, or 오다, to come. But to swim, 수영하다 is technically a locomotion verb because you swim from one point in the water, and it takes up distance as you propel forward. Crawling, running, all that is locomotion verb. And when you use eso with a locomotion verb, it means from. That's the starting point or the departing point. Okay, just a quick review. And we just said a is to indicate time element. All the time element except for 오늘, today, or any word in relation to today. So you have three usages for 에. 에, you use it only with the verb, the static verb 있다 or 없다, to exist or not to exist. 많다, which is an adjective, but it means to be many. There are not a lot of them like that, but you can say 학교에 학생이 많아요. At school, there are many students. It's not a verb, but it's static and it's adjective. And when it's used with locomotion verb, 에 means to. 학교에 가요 means you go to school. 학교에서 가요, you don't know where they're going, but they're starting from school. Okay, so 2 usages for 에서, 3 usages for 에. Time element, 있다 없다 means to, and you use it with static verbs, 있다 없다. 에서, only to. When used with, you use it with dynamic verbs. So even if there's 2 usages, you probably use 에서 a lot more than 에. Because you are saying you are doing something somewhere. And then locomotion verb, it means from the starting point. Again, 에 is used with state and locomotion verbs and time, 3 usages. And when used with state verb, it means at or in a place. And it includes, 많다, although it's an adjective. 있다, 없다 are primarily, those are the 2 verbs you use it with. Or locomotion, primarily 가다, 오다, to go or to come. It means to, that's where you're going to end up. And you use it with time element. But again, you guys, it could be the date, time, days of the week, year, but you cannot use it with today. You cannot use it with 오늘 or any word in relation to today, because it's just like in English, guys. We don't have preposition for word today or tomorrow, yesterday. We don't say I meet you on, at, or in today, right? We just say I meet you today, tomorrow, so forth. So you cannot have 오늘에 and then you do something. Again, locomotion verbs are verbs that take up distance. So you have a sentence, 저는 토요일에 데이트가 있어요. Perfectly good. On Saturday, I have a date. But you cannot say 저는 오늘에 데이트가 있어요. Wrong, because you just say 오늘 데이트가 있어요. Same thing with English, yeah? You say I have a date on Saturday. But you don't say I have a date on today or in today or at today, just today. Same thing with Korean. Any word today in relation to the word today, you don't have preposition. You don't put 에, only for all the other time elements, please. 살다 is a really, really tricky verb, you guys. It's the only verb you can use with either 에 or 에서. Only verb. There's a very subtle difference. They're interchangeable, but don't worry too much. You could say 리사는 한국에 살아요. Very general. I live here, there. I live in Korea. When you say 에서 살아요, it means then it becomes more particular. A statement about living at a particular location. 리사는 한국에서 오래 살아요. She's gonna live at that place for a very long time. Okay, it's very nuanced. Even most native speakers, they might choose the correct usage, but they might not be able to explain. But 에 살아요 is fine. 에서 is fine too. Don't worry, either is okay for 살아요, but we'll explain a little bit more about this when you go on to Korean, intermediate Korean. 에, very general. 에서 is about like if you're relocating, the topic happens to be, living at the location where she's living, okay? Here it is, the usages of EDAT, two main usages explained in chart. 학생이 학교에서 공부해요. Doing things. So as you're going to use a lot. Doing this here, doing this there. 친구가 백화점에서 선물을 사요. But when you use it with locomotion verbs, it means from. 학생이 대학에서 나와요. You don't know where they're going, but that's where they're coming out of. 내일 한국에서 와요. Again, we don't say 내일에, 내일, no 에 there, okay? Because 내일 is the day after tomorrow. It's a word in relation to today. 내일 한국에서 와요. Somebody's coming from Korea. So it's probably where you are when you say they're coming towards you, but then they're starting from Korea. 에 has more usages, 3 categories. When it's used generally with 있다, 없다, verbs of existence, static location, like just existing somewhere, or 많다, even if it's an adjective. 학생은 학교에 있어요. They're not doing anything. They're just there. 친구가 백화점에 없어요. They're not there. 학생이 대학에 가요. The student is going to college. We don't know where they're starting from, but we know their destination, where they intend to go. 내일 한국에 가요. I'm going to Korea tomorrow. And point in time, except for the word today, 오늘, or any word in relation to today, like 내일, tomorrow, yesterday, 어제, so forth. 5시에 친구를 만나요. 내일 7시 30분에 수업이 있어요. Or it could be 월요일에 봐요. Let's meet Monday. Or it could be a specific day. 6월 5일에 오세요. Please come on June 5th, so forth. Please read number 1. Repeat after me, or read on your own. 제 부모님은 한국에 계세요. Remember, 계세요 is 있다, but honorific. So you need 에. 서점은 학생 유니온에 있어요. 학생회관에 있어요. So what would be my boyfriend is at the track, the field, or the playground? 남자친구는 or 남친은 for short slang 운동장에 있어요. 운동장에 있어요. For 에 제니는 옷가게에 가요. Okay, she's just going there. She's not doing anything. She's going. So 에 가요. 스티브는 뉴욕에 가요. Again, just going there. They're not doing anything. So you have 에. 제 여자친구는 식당에 와요. She's gonna come to the restaurant. Point in time. 학생은 오후에 한국어 연습해요. The student studies Korean in the afternoon. See, even if it's, 오후, 오전, in the daytime or evening, you have 에. Just not 오늘, which is today or any word in relation to today. 저는 12시에 점심을 먹어요. Specific hour. 주말에 파티가 있어요. Yeah, even if it's not a specific day, it can be for season too, you guys. 겨울에, 여름에, in the winter, in the summer, 파티가 있어요. It's a party in the weekend. 에서 doing something somewhere. You're going to use this a lot. 저는 서점에서 사전을 사요. See, you're not just going to the bookstore. You're buying something there. So 에서 사요. 백화점에서 생일 선물을 봐요. So but not, I know it doesn't sound very dynamic. She's just perusing for birthday present, but while it is doing something 에서. 선생님이 경제학을 교실에서 가르치세요. The teacher is teaching economics in the classroom. 교실 is classroom. So that's the location where the action is, the verb is taking place. So 에서. When you use 에서 with locomotion verb, it means from. 저는 디즈니랜드에서 왔어요. So that's where I'm just from, Disneyland. 비행기가 시카고에서 출발해요. So the plane will be departing, leaving from Chicago. 린다는 백화점에서 뭐를 해요? So asking questions about what they're doing somewhere. Okay, as for Linda, at the department store, what's she doing? 린다는 백화점에서 뭐를 해요? 린다는 백화점에서 크리스마스 선물을 사요. She's buying Christmas present. So you use 에서. 저는 서점에서 책을 사요. What am I doing? At the bookstore, I'm buying a book. What are you doing? Where? 크리스피 크림에서 도넛을 먹어요 or 사요. At Krispy Kreme, you're eating or you're buying donuts. So in Asian countries, you have green tea cheesecake donuts and original glazed. So we see from Krispy Kreme donut in Korea. 극장에서 007 영화를 봐요. 007 in Korean is 007 because it's a license to kill. So it is in Sino-Korean number because it's not a quantity. It's a license to kill. 007. 007 is 007 in Korean. At the theater, you're watching the movie. You're watching 007 movie. 맥도날드에서 빅 테이스티 버거를 먹어요. So at McDonald's, you're eating something. So 에서. Where is this, you guys? 루브르에서 museum in Korean is 박물관. 박물관에서 루브르 박물관에서 at the Louvre 모나리자를 봐요. You're looking at the Mona Lisa. You're viewing the Mona Lisa painting at the Louvre에서. So that's where you are doing something. 한국에서 한국어를 공부해요. In Korea, you're studying Korean. 스타벅스에서 커피를 마셔요. This is, you can immediately, if you're Korean, you know this Starbucks coffee is, where the Sejong statue is, because it's written in Hangul. Starbucks is very particular about their logo, and you cannot have it in any other alphabet or languages. This is a standard logo. They all have to be uniform. In order to modify it, you need their special permission. And this is one of the very few places around the world they were given that special permission because it's a Starbucks by King Sejong statue in Seoul. 스타벅스에서 커피를 마셔요. So at Starbucks, you're drinking coffee. Doing something somewhere에서. 코치 가게에서 가방을 사요. At the Coach store, you're buying a bag. Doing something somewhere. Again, so it'll be 에서. 피자헛에서 피자를 먹어요 or 사요. At Pizza Hut, you're eating or you're buying pizza. That's it for lesson 11.